Breaking news. We are here at the Clutter residence in Holcomb, Kansas, where there's been a mass murder of a family of 4. We'll keep you updated for more evidence.
The first victim was Nancy Clutter. She was 16 years old. Nancy was smart and very involved in her community. She was also known as the town sweetheart.
Bonnie was the mother of Kenyon and Nancy, and throughout her motherhood, she struggled with depression and mental illness.
Kenyon Clutter was the next victim. He was 15 years old. In his community, he was considered a loner, although he was very smart.
Herb Clutter was the father of the family. He was successful and a hard worker. He owned his own business and was extremely respected by the community. The investigators determined the order of the killings based on body temperature. The first person to be killed was Nancy Clutter, and then Bonnie Clutter, and then Kenyon Clutter, and then the father, Herb Clutter. Here is Kenyon Clutter. He was found with his hands and feet tied to the couch and shot in the head.
Here is Herb Clutter. He was found in the furnace room in the basement with his head shot and his throat cut open.
Here is Nancy Clutter. She was found dead, shot in the head. Her hands were tied behind her back, and she was also tucked in.
This is Bonnie. She was found in bed, killed, with her hands tied behind her back.
Breaking news. Welcome to the 10:30 news report. It is November 17th, and we have just discovered that the Clutter family has been killed with 22 gauge shotguns. As of now, there is no motive for the murder. The family was so well liked, so it doesn't make sense that they'd be killed in such a horrible way. The town has turned on each other and are treating each other like strangers because they think that one of their own may have done the horrible deed.
The head investigator of this case is Al Dewey. He is very hardworking and very determined to solve this case. They found a purse on the kitchen floor of the Clutter house, which makes them suspect that it was a robbery.
Another piece of evidence was this shoe. After long hours of searching through the Clutter house for evidence leading to the answer behind the murder, they found a watch with inside this very shoe. They believe that this may indicate a robbery because Nancy was hiding her valuable things that she had on at the time the murderers came in.
One of Kenyon's family friends remembers Kenyon's possession a radio, and after many hours of searching, they could not find the radio, which leads to the conclusion that the motive for this murder was robbery.
This is Nancy Clutter's diary, which is another key piece of evidence we found in the Clutter house. This is important because the night before the murder, she wrote in it about events that have happened in her life. And reading through each of her entries, we noticed that recently there has been no conflicts. So that leaves us to not knowing the suspects of the murder.
After going through evidence, Al Dewey was looking through the pictures and he found this shoe print on the ground with a unique sole shape to it. And this could potentially find out the victim who killed the Clutter family.
A recent newspaper print has been published, and us as investigators are worried that these suspects of the murder are reading our findings and are on the run.
It's November 18th, and I'm interviewing one of the suspects in the Clutter murder. This is John Sr. Earlier this year, there was a minor business transaction that didn't turn out very well, and John Sr. openly does not like Mr. Clutter. How do you feel about being one of the suspects of the murder?
Well, I didn't murder him, and as you said, it was a minor transaction. So, he may have had it coming, but I didn't do it.
There you have it, folks. We are now going over to Emma Sherwood, who is interviewing Mr. Smith, another suspect in the Clutter murder.
I'm here with Mr. Smith, and his hunting dog was killed by a friend of Herb Clutter's, And so the police went and investigated his house and found that he could tie the knots that binded the Clutter family at the time of their murder. What do you feel about being a suspect in this case?
Yeah, I know I can tie knots that way, but that doesn't mean I did those murders.
Well, there you go.
Hello, and I am here with another suspect of the Clutter murder. This is Bobby Rupp, Nancy's longtime boyfriend, and he was the last person to be with the Clutters before they were murdered. How do you feel about being a suspect, Bobby?
I feel very hurt being a suspect because Nancy was the love of my life, and I would never do anything to hurt her. And I would not murder my girlfriend. And yeah, like, it's just really sad right now, and like, it's hard to take in.
What do you have to say to the people who think that you murdered your girlfriend?
It's very disrespectful and untrusting of them because, like, I've been with Nancy for so long, and I was planning on marrying her, like, being with her for the rest of my life.
Thank you for your time.
I'm here with Bobby Rupp, and we're doing a lie detector test. Did you kill Nancy Clutter?
No, I didn't kill them or their family.
What happened that night?
I went over to their house around dinner, and me and Nancy watched TV till 11 o'clock, and then I went home.
Did you notice anything suspicious that night?
No. Okay, well, there might have been somebody watching in the bushes waiting for me to leave. That's all I know.
Thank you.
Hello, and I'm here with Susan, Nancy's best friend, to speak with her about the Clutters murder. How do you feel, Susan?
I'm so upset. Nancy was my best friend. We grew up together and we did everything together. She was my one and only best friend, and I don't know what I'm going to do without her.
I'm very sorry for your loss, and I hope that the community is helping you through this.
Thank you.
We performed multiple lie detector tests on multiple suspects, and all the lie detector tests turned out to be positive. Therefore, all the suspects were innocent.
This just in, after months of investigating the Clutter family massacre, information has finally come concerning who may have killed the Clutters. We are now at the Kansas State Penitentiary and are about to interview one of the prisoners who claims to have information as to who may have killed the Clutters. Hello, and I'm here with Floyd Wells. One day, Floyd was listening to the radio, and he heard about the Clutter murder and immediately knew information. Floyd, what do you have to say?
Well, when I was in prison, I used to work for the Clutter family, and I was telling Dick about how much money they had. And immediately, Dick was asking me, all about them and their, how their house layout is. And then one day, Dick said that he was gonna plot a murder on the Clutter family.
Very interesting.
This is Dick Hickok, and he was put in the Kansas State Penitentiary for fraud. He specifically wrote false checks, and that's what he got caught for. As a person, Dick was very smart and motivated and overly confident, but he was also very obsessive and impulsive, especially when he got focused on a certain idea. He's also very practical and a family-motivated man.
This is Perry, Dick's partner in the Clutter crime. Perry and Dick met in the Kansas State Penitentiary because of theft. Perry was abandoned as a child, and he was not very smart. This led him to being sensitive and having a short fuse. Perry's fatal flaw is that he dislikes people who are happy, and this makes sense to why he was a part of the Clutter murder. This story has been made to a book called In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. He creates suspense within the novel, even though we know the ultimate outcome. We don't know why the Clutters and the criminals cross paths or when, but Capote adds suspense into the novel by slowly adding evidence and clues to who the criminals are and why they committed the crime.
A major theme in this book is loss of innocence because Perry feels the need to lie about killing a man to fit in with Dick's morals.
Another theme is the American dream. The Clutters have the American dream, a big house, and a lot of land. The people without the American dream are jealous of them. These people are Dick and Perry.
Thanks for watching!